Many of you might remember old former DA Jackie Johnson in the Ahmaud Arbery case down there in Georgia. And her trial has been postponed multiple times. You can clearly see behind the scenes, there are a lot of people helping her out. So I have a video that I want you to listen to, and then I'll come back with the rest of my commentary.
Was 3 years since Ahmaud Arbery was shot and killed while out for a run in a Glenn County neighborhood.
The former Brunswick District Attorney, Jackie Johnson, has been charged with hindering the police investigation, but she hasn't made her first court appearance yet. Sarah Winkleman joins us in the studio to break down the key dates that got us to this point.
Good morning, guys. Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr's office is prosecuting the case against former DA Jackie Johnson, who has denied any wrongdoing. Now, all of this starts back on February 23rd of 2020. Now, that is when Arbery was shot and killed while out on a run. That same day, a call log shows that almost immediately after the shooting, Greg McMichael, who was convicted in Arbery's murder, called Jackie Johnson and left a voicemail.
Jackie, this is Greg. Can you call me as soon as you possibly can? My son and I have been involved in a shooting, and I need some advice right away. If you could please call me as soon as you possibly can. Thanks. Bye.
And 4 days after that phone call and shooting on February 27th of 2020, court filings say this is when Johnson sent in her recusal letter to the Georgia Attorney General's office to be removed from the case. She knew Greg McMichael because he had worked with her in the DA's office as an investigator. State prosecutors say the problem is Johnson had already asked another DA to review the case, and that second DA said the killing of Arbery was justified before Johnson recused herself, when she should have gone to the state first. Now, it wasn't until May 5th of 2020, just a couple months later, that's when the video of this shooting was released and led to the arrest of Greg McMichael and his son Travis, their neighbor, William Roddy Bryant. Now, state agents, rather than local, charged all three in connection to Arbery's murder, and they were later convicted. And we fast forward more than a year later to September 2nd of 2021. That's when Jackie Johnson was indicted on charges of violation of an oath of a public officer and obstruction and hindering of a law enforcement officer. Then just 6 days later, on September 8th of 2021, that's when Johnson was booked into the Glenn County Jail and released the same day under her own recognizance on a $10,000 bond. Now, all of that leads us to today. Johnson was supposed to be arraigned today. However, that court appearance has been canceled, and the Superior Court judge has not disclosed a reason yet or set a new date. Now, coming up in the next half hour of the news at Daybreak, I spoke with a legal expert about how long we can expect the rest of this process to take.
Okay, so once again, Jackie Johnson's case has been postponed. This is multiple times, y'all. Her case really should have came right after the McMichaels and Bryant. But you got to understand, she is a well-connected woman. She knows probably a lot of the prosecutors in that area. She probably knows many of the judges, being that she was a DA, she would have to know a lot of the judges, and they're familiar with her. So it is not unthinkable to believe that they're going to handle her case with kid gloves. We can see this coming a mile away. This case should have been over probably about a year ago. It should have been over. But she was scheduled to appear in court today, and the judge, the Superior Court Judge John R. Turner, decided to postpone the trial and did not give a reason why. So Johnson is charged for meddling in a police investigation back in 2020 over the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. Attorney General Chris Carr's office is prosecuting the case against DA Jackie Johnson, who has denied any wrongdoing. So she claims she is innocent in this whole thing, but we saw what she did. The McMichaels killed Ahmaud Arbery back in February. They didn't go to jail. until May. And a lot of people were in an uproar over that. And it took them even longer to put William Roddy Bryan behind bars. So we know since then they have been found guilty on both the state and federal charges. They were also hit with hate crimes. So they are in jail. Now they wanted to go to Club Fed, but the judge said no. So they are still sitting in state prison, and that's where they belong. You killed Ahmaud Arbery on the state level. You belong in state prison. That's one thing I don't agree with, how they will take these cops or somebody like Jackie Johnson that's in, part of the legal system, and they'll put them in federal prison to keep them safe. But the crime they committed was on the state level. I don't think that should be done. If a cop or a DA don't want to go to jail, then what is it that you say to everybody else? You don't do the time, don't do the crime if you don't want to do the time. Well, that should apply to police officers and DAs as well. That should not be limited to the public. But we know how y'all play around with words and semantics. So Jackie Johnson didn't answer. So Greg McMichael ended up leaving all of these voicemails for her. So he called her multiple times after killing Ahmaud Arbery. 16 phone calls Jackie Johnson received. And then after that, she proceeded to help cover the whole thing up. If it was up to her and she was still in office, see, she lost when she ran for DA after the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. She lost. So another person was voted in as DA. If she was still in there, the McMichaels would probably be free, because that's exactly what she was trying to do. And they only gave this woman, when she was arrested, a $10,000 bond. Okay, you tried to cover for your buddies that committed a murder. Why was the bond that low? No, the bond should have been a lot higher, because she played a huge part in the delay in getting the McMichaels and Brian arrested. She played a huge part in that. So, in my opinion, she should have been behind bars all this time, but she's been free all this time, y'all. Completely free. So, I will let you know whenever they announce a new court date on this case. It's got to come up soon. Ahmaud Arbery was murdered back in 2020. So that means Jackie Johnson's case is not going to come up until 2023. And we don't know how far out this judge is going to push that date. And I want to know what the reason is. She's been free for nearly 3 years now. So, what is the reason for postponing today's hearing, where she should be right in that courtroom today? It's unbelievable when you have the complexion with the connection, isn't it? Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.